Approaching the shoreline, these are some of the refugees fleeing fighting from the Democratic Republic of Congo. Uganda is viewed as a role model in welcoming and receiving so many people seeking international protection. But the country's refugee program has recently been awash with allegations of corruption and grave misconduct, and concerns arising from inflated refugee figures which have forced the UN agency to institute new measures.
UNHCR and the government met and agreed that the UNHCR system, which has the biometric capacity, would be used to verify the government data in order to allay any of those concerns. And one of the main entities raising those concerns is the donors, because the numbers determine the level of support required for refugees.
Uganda has initiated a probe and suspended some officials suspected to be involved in allegations of embezzlement, fraud, and sexual exploitation. Major donors like the United States, the European Union, and the United Kingdom have threatened to withdraw funding if the concerns are not quickly addressed.
What we look for is due process. We do want to make sure that the rule of law is followed. We do want to make sure that the allegations are confirmed, and for those that are confirmed, that the people responsible are brought to justice. The work that we are involved in, the resources that we are talking about touch human lives. So it is absolutely unacceptable that any of these resources should be misused.
In parallel, the United Nations is also pursuing its own investigation to determine whether any of its officials are involved in the scam. Meanwhile, the UN Refugee Agency says more ethnic clashes in the DR Congo continue to trigger displacement and human rights abuses.
According to the refugees, there are still thousands of people waiting to cross and seek safety into Uganda. According to the refugees, there are blockages on the other side of the border. There are armed groups who are preventing refugees from fleeing and seek safety in Uganda.
Over 40,000 people have arrived in Uganda since January. With more than 1,000 new arrivals every day, the UN Refugee Agency says they're overstretched in terms of capacity and the resources available. They're now calling for more funding for the DR Congo emergency response, which entirely depends on the success of the planned refugee verification exercise. Baleke, CGTN, Kampala, Uganda.